Classes struggle. Some classes triumph, others are eliminated. Such is history, such is the history of civilization for thousands of years. In class society, everyone lives as a member of a particular class, and every kind of thinking, without exception, is stamped with the brand of a class. The ruthless economic exploitation and political oppression of the peasants by the landlord class forced them into numerous uprisings against its rule. It was the class struggles of the peasants, the peasant uprisings and peasant wars that constituted the real motive force of historical development in Chinese feudal society. It is up to us to organize the people. If there is to be revolution, there must be a revolutionary party. The Chinese Communist Party is the core of leadership of the whole Chinese people. Without this core, the cause of socialism cannot be victorious. The socialist system will eventually replace the capitalist system. This is an objective law independent of man's will. However much the reactionaries try to hold back the wheel of history, sooner or later, revolution will take place and will inevitably triumph. In past history, before they won state power and for some time afterwards, the slave-owning class, the feudal landlord class, and the bourgeoisie were vigorous, revolutionary, and progressive. They were real tigers. But with the lapse of time, because their opposites, the slave class, the peasant class, and the proletariat, grew in strength step by step, struggled against them more and more fiercely, these ruling classes changed step by step into the reverse, changed into reactionaries, changed into backward people, changed into paper tigers, and eventually they were overthrown, or will be overthrown, by the people. Over a long period, we have developed this concept for the struggle against the enemy. Strategically, we should despise all our enemies, but tactically, we should take them all seriously. This also means that we must despise the enemy with respect to the whole, but that we must take him seriously with respect to each and every concrete question. If we do not despise the enemy with respect to the whole, we shall be committing the error of opportunism. It is an arduous task to ensure a better life for the several 100 million people of China and to build our economically and culturally backward country into a prosperous and powerful one with a high level of culture. Revolutions and revolutionary wars are inevitable in class society, and without them it is impossible to accomplish any leap in social development and to overthrow the reactionary ruling classes, and therefore impossible for the people to win political power. Without armed struggle, neither the proletariat, nor the people, nor the Communist Party would have any standing at all in China, and it would be impossible for the revolution to triumph. We desire peace. However, if imperialism insists on fighting a war, we will have no alternative but to take the firm resolution to fight to the finish, before going ahead with our construction. To achieve a lasting world peace, we must further develop our friendship and cooperation with the fraternal countries in the socialist camp, and strengthen our solidarity with all peace-loving countries. As for the imperialist countries, we should unite with their peoples and strive to coexist peacefully with those countries, do business with them and prevent any possible war, but under no circumstances should we harbor any unrealistic notions about them. Can a communist, who is an internationalist, at the same time be a patriot? We hold that he not only can be, but must be. We are at once internationalists and patriots, and our slogan is, "Fight to defend the motherland against the aggressors." For us, defeatism is a crime, and to strive for victory in the war of resistance is an inescapable duty, for only by fighting in defense of the motherland can we defeat the aggressors and achieve national liberation. The victory of China and the defeat of the invading imperialists will help the people of other countries. Thousands upon thousands of martyrs have heroically laid down their lives for the people. Be resolute, fear no sacrifice, and surmount every difficulty to win victory. The Revolutionary War is a war of the masses. It can be waged only by mobilizing the masses and relying on them. Without a people's army, the people have nothing. You are models for the whole Chinese nation, the backbone of the victorious advance of the people's cause in all spheres, pillars of support to the people's government, and bridges linking the people's government with the great masses. There are two winds in the world today, the east wind and the west wind. There is a Chinese saying, either the east wind prevails over the west wind, or the west wind prevails over the east wind. I believe it is characteristic of the situation today that the east wind is prevailing over the west wind. That is to say, the forces of socialism have become overwhelmingly superior to the forces of imperialism. I have said that all the reputedly powerful reactionaries are merely paper tigers. The reason is that they are divorced from the people. Look, was not Hitler a paper tiger? Was Hitler not overthrown? I also said that the Tsar of Russia, the Emperor of China, and Japanese imperialism were all paper tigers. As we know, they were all overthrown. Riding roughshod everywhere, U.S. imperialism has made itself the enemy of the people of the world and has increasingly isolated itself. Those who refuse to be enslaved will never be cowed by the atom bombs and hydrogen bombs in the hands of the U.S. imperialists. The raging tide of the people of the world against the U.S. aggressors is irresistible. Their struggle against U.S. imperialism and its lackeys will assuredly win still greater victories. If the U.S. monopoly capitalist groups persist in pushing their policies of aggression and war, the day is bound to come when they will be hanged by the people of the whole world. The same fate awaits the accomplices of the United States.